Hello everyone, and today we shall study about time series plot, and we will be doing some we'll be plotting some time series data, time series plot. So there are some inbuilt data set in R. So to actually download them or import them in our R Jupyter notebook, we will have to use this ggplot2 library. Okay, and then we will go again and load this data set in an object called df. You can name any object. It could be data df or simple economics also, you can name it. So I will just use this economics. Okay, and this data set is already there, so let me show you the head of this data. Okay, so we'll write head and just let us explore this data. So we see that this is a time series data. Actually, this is having date, PCE, population. This is the saving rate. Okay, this is personal saving rate, unemployed, and this is unemployed, right? This is rate. So we'll see the details of this, but first of all let me show you the dimensions of this. That means rows and columns. So this has 574 rows and 6 variables or columns, as you can see. Now if you want to check more about it, let's just find the structure which will give you even the data type of each variable. So you see here that date is in the date format, PCE is number, and this P saving rate or personal saving rate is also number, and unemployed is also number. Well, this is unemployed. These are two similar things, but they are different, and we shall see what they mean. So, how would you see that? You would simply, mention question mark and write here, uh, you know, economics. So, this, since it is preloaded in R, it will give you the description, the R documentation. You can open it, and you find that this is it was produced from the US Economic Time Series data available from this link. And now you can see that you've also got economics long data set also. So now what you have here is date is the month of date collection, and this is personal saving rate, this is personal consumption rate, this is number of unemployed in thousands, unemployed, and this is median of duration of unemployment in weeks. Okay, can you see this? Median. So MED, this is median of unemployment, and POP is total population in thousands. Right. So this is the description of your data set. Now we will move on to something really interesting, and that is data visualization now. So quickly now moving on to this thing. You will find this worksheet in kaggle.com. So if you don't want to see the video and you just want to see the worksheet, you can simply go there. But let us just understand the number of unemployed and how many unemployed are there over the period of time, right? So let's just see how many unemployed people, the unemployed over the years and the trend of it. Actually, these time series data is used to study the pattern over time, whether it has been decreasing or increasing, and it is suitable for your continuous data set. So what I'll do is I will use ggplot, but before that let me set the figure size, and we have done it so many times that I'm using the RDPR library, and you know that why we are using this. I have dealt this in length in previous videos, so if you want to check out what we are doing, please refer to those videos. They are being provided in the description box, and also you will get the link. I'm just setting the plot size, that's all I'm doing. And since I'm writing this, it's better that I get you engaged by just talking a little. Okay, I set the size, and now let's just plot it. So what I do is I would plot it like ggplot, and then what I'll do is I will take my data, that is df, and then I will set the aesthetics. This is the second layer, and now I will set the x-axis and y-axis. So on x-axis let us set the date, and on y-axis let us set what? Okay, let us set unemployed. Okay, I think this is UNEMPLOY. Yeah, unemployed, and we'll set. And how do I want it to be represented? I want it in the form of a line. Okay, we have done point and bar in previous tutorials also. that is plotting bar and scatter plot in R. So this is, can you see this? Wow, beautiful plot, isn't it? We've got this time series over the years. So this is like some 1960s. You've got your data from, like 1967. Yeah. So from 1967 to 2000, and I mean greater than 2000, and like 2015, you can say. And this is how the employment is, over the period of time. So you can see that this is increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing. And here is something which is high unemployment you can find here. And also here in 2010, I think here, this was a time of Great Recession. I think this was also the time of Great Recession in 1980s. We had some Great Recession. Then again, during 2007 and 8, we had Great Recession. So this was the period where we faced the economy, suffered, and we had a lot of unemployment. But let's dig down a little deeper and explore more patterns in this data. Okay, and how do we do that? Simple. We will just copy paste this, and I will let's just manipulate our data. Okay, I want employment rate. So what I do is I will just use here this unemployment divided by population, and so that we get the rate of unemployed and into 100, so that it gives me the percentage also. So I get that. Now I can interpret that in the year 19, I would say in the start of like early 1980s, the unemployment rate was 5%, which was all time high in the given data set. Alright, and also in the year like around 2007 to 2010 and 11, the economy faced unemployment, and the unemployment rate was 5%, right? So what things they were hidden here in this data, in this figure, we could not find here. Like the peak, this peak could be seen here. That in 1980s to 1990s, we had unemployment rate greater than 5%. Okay, so this is how you would, when you would explore and expand one year, entire year in months, you would get to know more about this data. This is just a glimpse and surface view, overview, but this is just, I can say, tip of the iceberg, right? Okay, so okay, the complete analysis is given in that notebook where I have written all those things. So this was percentage of unemployed. Now what I want is, I want to show you something really interesting with this data set. We can improve this diagram a little. And what I do is, I would just copy this and I will paste it here. As you know, I do that always. And in this aesthetics, what I do is, I will add one more variable here. Let's make it plot multiple variables, and I will use here personal saving income rate. So personal saving rate, and let's see what it gives me. Okay, so we've seen previously that with color I'm using here this as a continuous value, so that is why it has given me a color scale from 4 to 16. So what does this tell me actually? How can I interpret this thing? What I find is, first of all, understand this scale. This is the saving rate. So darker color represent less saving, and lighter color represent more saving. Okay. So when the unemployment rate is high, okay, and you can see the saving also, I cannot find much interpretation from this. This is not that evident. What I see here is that this color, it varies and it changes so fast. I cannot say that here unemployment is increasing and saving is also increasing. What is this? So that means this needs more clarity. But here I see that there are darker colors. That means savings reduces, like when your unemployment rate is high. So that logically fits in. But how do I plot it here? I just add one more thing here to make it more uh, I would say aesthetically appealing, or to make it more derive more meaning, or so that my plot speaks more than my words, is this, that I add some points over this line, so that it just tells me that now it's more clear actually, that okay, now here I can see that the savings decreased here. That means saving decreased. That means people were having money, so that I can lead to that I had consumption rate also. That means they were consuming more and more, so savings were less, and here unemployment is also less. So when the unemployment is low, people tend to save less. Okay, when the unemployment was like increasing, people were saving more. Okay, they were not spending money. Alright, because they did not have money, I could say, or there were other several reasons which could contribute to the same, right? Lack of purchasing power and limited money in hands. So the savings they were high, right here. Now let me tell you something more here. Let me add a few things more. So what I do is what I do. Okay, one more thing is, since we've got a lot of data here, what I'll do is there's one more variable here, and that is called, okay, let me tell you one more data, that is consumption, right? Okay, this is PCE. So we can just experiment this thing with PCE also, and what I'll do is, in x-axis I will have this PCE, that is personal consumption rate, and here in the color I can have date, and let's see how we get the graph. Okay, this is something which I don't like actually, because this is not what I wanted. I actually wanted a different graph. So what I have to do here is I have to change the x and y axis. For here I have to change the color to personal saving, personal consumption rate, and I can change, let me do a little manipulation here. Okay, I can change the color, I can change the unemployment rate. That makes sense on the x-axis. So I interpret that when the personal consumption rate, but this really I'm not satisfied with this figure. It is not making much sense. It's too much loaded, too much of information here. So I revert back this to date, and in color, let me give you PCE. Let's see what happens. Okay, now this is somewhat better. So what I say is that this personal consumption rate, I figured out that here the employment rate was low in late 1960s and early 1970s. So people consumed, okay, and this consumption was less. Personal consumption rate, it increased when the unemployment rate started falling, and we see trend here in 2010, right? And also here we see that the consumption here, it is much higher. But again, to get real picture of this thing, we will have to subset this data. So let's just understand this a little better by subsetting this data, because it is having quite like 700 over 570 rows. So let's just subset our data frame into a little smaller this thing, and we will set a condition first. So what I do is, let us explore what this line, like 2010, let us just explore this part. Okay, so what I do is, I can just create a condition, or first let's create an object, echo 2010, and I will assign what here in my data frame. What I'll do is, I am telling R to go to the column date, and what you do is, if it is greater than as dot date, what is that? The date is 2010 0101, that means January, and I just assign this. So this is a condition that I have given, and I just call this data frame. So this is quite a huge data frame, as you can see. So what can I do is, I can simply mention here head. So this just gives me the first six, values, and this is from 2010, as you can see, and I can find the dimension. Of course this would be the same. Then you can see the tail to understand till what year you have this data. 12 sorry, and that is like 2015, 4th April 2015, right? 01. Okay, So this is what you have subsetted the data, and you can also find the structure of this data so to understand how many rows have been imported, I mean taken. Now there are 63 observations, so the rows have considerably been reduced, and now we are simply analyzing the 63 rows and 6 variables spread over 2010 to 2015. So we have a data set of now like a data set of 5 years, right, from 2010 to 2015 that we will be analyzing and understanding a little bit about it. Okay. So let's just plot one graph and let's see what happens and how else can be plotted. So I just take ggplot and I take here eco 2010. Then I set the aesthetics as what? X equals, let's take here date again, and Y equals, let's take here same thing, unemployed, right? And I would take the rate here actually. So you can take here population into 100, or you can just take population, and then what you do is take here underscore bar, oh sorry, line, not bar. So what happens is you get this line wherein you find some ups and downs, and since again this is not clear, there are various months. Can you see this till 2011? There are several months here. So we see a hike in like around February or so where employment rate increased, and then again from March, April, May, March, April it was reduced, and again it just showed a bump here maybe in December or so or November, and then again it reduced. So within a year, there's again a pattern of reduction and increase in unemployment rate of people, which can again be explored. Okay. Now again here in the 2011 phase, we see like it is something like consistent, like you can say from 4.3 to 4.5 only, and then there was a reduction which was being witnessed like in the mid, say you can say um, August or so, like it got considerably reduced. But what is this month? What is this? How can I just make it better? So there's one more feature here. I would just let's do it quickly, and that feature is called, instead of line, I can simply use here step. Okay, sorry, I would use here step, and when you use this step you would understand the rise and fall of the unemployment rate, and this could be seen very clearly. And you can also add here, see, if you also want to see the line, you can also add the line here and see this. So these are advantages. So you can see with line and you can see the peak also, right? So this is how you see this entire data set, and you subset the data and do further visualization with this. And this is how you plot time series data in R with economics preloaded inbuilt data set in R. So I think this was it for this video, and check out for more R tutorials and also the R course which is there on Udemy. Links are being provided in the description box. And once again guys, thanks for watching.